Royal Blackness, KKE the finest. Catch Master of the Game on CTV. Oh yes, nuggets of inspiration and delightful treats for your enjoyment. Whether you love power, money, beauty, or fame, there is so much to learn from Master of the Game. Only in the place to be. The coolest channel, CTV. Hello and welcome to Master of the Game, the program on which we bring you the movers, shakers, icons, and legends of our beloved motherland Ghana. My name is Darwah, Kwasi Kyei Darwah. You know, Master of the Game streams live on Facebook at MyCTVGH and also on Accra 100.5 FM and Class 91.3 FM. We also stream live on YouTube at MyCTVGH. And today we're also going to be bringing you some excerpts of the confirmation of the ministers that have been appointed by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the President of the Republic of Ghana. My special guest today is no stranger to any Ghanaian. Even if you were born only yesterday, you know about him. His music has been around the world and back again. His lyrical game is tight. His style game is tight. And his personality is all right. He's a sex symbol. He's a smooth talking, smooth rapping, very well dressed, and also ass kicking, for want of a better word, karate kid from youth who's grown to become an inspirational entrepreneur running businesses in the culture and tourism sector. And I must say, I admire him so much, and I've done so since our boyhood days. Please welcome the grandpapa of hip life, Reggie Rockstone. Reggie.
Oh man.
How are you?
Did you miss some more? Did you miss some more?
No, but Reggie, you're that good.
Well, you know, I've known you for so long, so to hear you, you know, that it feels weird because, you know, I looked up to you growing up, and here I am today, sat before you. And you talking about your brother. I just want you to know that I appreciate it. And
you deserve it.
Well, you know, listen, I'm starting to get shy. I'm in my dark. I mean, yes, I'm in my umbrella stance now.
No, but Reggie, you deserve it.
Thank you, sir.
Because in a country where everybody talks about unemployment of youth, you took something that was like a game, something that we played around with.
Yeah.
And then you said, no, we can turn this into a business.
Yeah.
And not just a business for now, we can turn it into some sort of a legacy.
Yeah.
So high life existed before you.
Yes,
Rap
it did.
Existed before you.
Yes, it did.
But you managed to look at these two different genres and then make it your own in a very special way, even though some people had rapped before you and say, and then you gave it a name.
Well, that's where,
the nomenclature, hip life, came from Reggie Rockstone.
Yes, it did.
There is no argument about it.
No, there's no argument.
So by so doing, you opened up a whole enterprise for generations to come. And for that, Ghana and the world says, thank you.
I appreciate, and I wouldn't change nothing. I'll do it all over again. I'm Pan-African, as you know it. And of course, your good friend, my father, he had a big hand in hip life. Matter of fact, I've told the story many times. He was the one that actually proposed that, man, friend of hip hop, you have to own it. And he's the one that said, you know, put the hip from hip hop and life from high life. So props once again goes to the man who made me. Even today when we speak about all that transpired, his name still comes up.
And for those who are not sure who he's talking about, that's Ricky Osei, my dear friend and mentor, great designer, great inspirer, great warrior. I remember when he once walked to the what we call the trade fair, which Kwame had built for us to expose our craft and our businesses to the world. And he saw the place was in a mess. Yeah. He went on a hunger strike.
I think he might be the only Ghanaian that I know, unless I'm wrong. He's the only Ghanaian who ever went on hunger strike. And that's how they cleaned up the trade fair. Till last, one year should go, me drew almost all my charge him with gate. Me say, shit. Now, you know, but he's a joke. But yeah, you know, he was that type of guy. And he, you know, he was inspired by the legendary Dick Gregory. And it's Dick that taught him how to fast and all of the above. And I remember going to school and the teachers coming up to me asking me if I was okay, you know, because they see my father, you know, and they would come up to me, are you okay? I'm like, I'm good. You know, everything was explained to me. But I do love that man, and there's not a single day that his name doesn't come up, even on TV as I speak right now. He's always here in heart. And he taught me so much, not just me. Even yourself, you tell me more stories with that.
I spent more time with you,
than I did. You know, you know, you actually hung out with him.
He's one of the kindest souls.
Yes, he is. He is. He was a straight philanthropist.
One
like
of the kindest
crazy.
Souls there is.
And I took that from him, and to this day, you know, one of my nicknames is Papa Brunya. You know, this is one of the reasons why my wife stands so strong in all the businesses, because it's on one time you're buying my champagne when we run the nightclub. Yeah. Champagne, you know, but that's the blessing that goes around and comes right back to us. I think so.
Tell me about your upbringing, because I know the family.
Yes, you do.
So I know the story, but I want you to share the story with the world.
My upbringing is it's a whole book. I mean, it's definitely not your normal Ghanaian upbringing, that's for sure. To begin with, I got 3 mothers, you know, and well, you know, my mother, Auntie Anna, my biological. If she's watching this, shout out. There she is, and that's Pops. Yeah. Yeah. And then I got Millie, and that's from the
Millie's in the States.
Yeah, she's African American.
Of course.
And then I have this might come as a surprise, but
Arya Santua.
Yeah, original. Yes. My mom is Sophia Kufu.
Madame Sophia.
You know, for me, it's mom. You know, so. I was raised by 3 very strong women. Don't ask me how it came to be, but it came to be as it was. And all of them took turns in raising me is who I am today. So everything from, you know, my mom's Millie, she was my stage moms. I get my ass kicked, Kumasi, discipline style from Auntie Anna, my mother. And then, of course, Auntie Sophia being the judge, you know, she's the supreme judge, you know, the strictness, but still very funky. All of them very funky. Yeah. You know, and this is and they're all very proud of me. I came out right. You know, I did very well. Yeah. And my household was just really funky.
Primary school?
It's funny how you mentioned that. Apart from the West, it was Auntie Sophia who actually got me into Soul Clinic. Because when I came, I was late. When
you came, you were late, meaning?
As in, you know, from travel, you know, I had to catch up. And so...
That's from London at the time?
Yes, at the time, where I was born, yeah.
How old were you then?
I'm really terrible with dates and, you know, but I was young enough to know that I enjoyed sunshine and I loved the smiles of my people. I was young enough to know that I was home.
And you loved rhythm and dance.
Yes, that's from the very inception. I mean, there's a lot of music in my household.
Tell me about your days in Soul Clinic.
Soul Clinic was
New boy from
fly.
London, a little bit of an accent.
No. When you see, now this is where people always get. See, I have a very unique accent because the New York side of things, and of course because I'm so affiliated to hip hop, that seeps into. But if you listen to my accent very close, you can also hear English affection.
Of course.
And then there's a Ghanaian affection. So I'll be in New York sometimes when I talk. People say, "Where you from?" They say, "We could tell you sound like from Brooklyn, but it's something different." And then when I'm in the UK, you know, but I did not take our colonizers' accent. I think I flew more to my mother's side. My father did the same. My father lived in the UK, moved to America, the LA, and when he would speak, there was never any, the early days, he not slangy, you know, by his, you know, like the J. Double type slang, you know, I gotta go, man, you know. You know what I'm talking about. But he never had an English affection on his, so when I would go amongst my people, I had to fit in. And I would speak, that's one of the first ones that I picked up, Pidgin. I picked up Pidgin real quick. And I loved it, you know. It was the Shewaga style, you know.
So language-wise, you're a chameleon. You look at the environment and you fit in.
And Ricky, he identified that real quick. He said, you know, he's a sponge. He absorbs everything around him. And so I absorbed the music, the James Brown, the fella, I soaked that, the Beatles he was playing, the fashion, I absorbed it, movement. You know, my mother was on the cover of Parliament. The record cover, you know. So this is a type of upbringing. That's heavy. Parliament funk. You know, Parliament funk is a big deal. And when I'm in the States and I tell folks, I say, yo, that's my mother. And they, what? I say, yeah, that's my mother. You know, your father's a fashion designer and you some type of musician. So, yeah, I know, right? They're always very interested in me. It's like, listen, man, I mean, they're actually working on a book and a biopic, as I showed you. And so, yeah. I grew up the flyway, and it's never changed. My household is still the same.
Best friend at Soul Clinic?
I had a few. Shout out to the late Reverend Macaulay. He was the headmaster. He was also West Indian African American, and he was a good friend of my father's. And of course, because my mother was African American, they kind of bonded. And so when my father would travel, I used to go live in the headmaster house.
Interesting.
And so I was always, you know, he was really proud of me. When I became the junior champion for Taekwondo, which I was
going to come to that later,
right.
Of course.
He was the one that had the whole Soul Clinic school come out just to present my cup and announce. It was beautiful. You know, I remember, and I'm really appreciative of all these, but I was never big-headed, none of, you know, and we lived right around the corner from school. So I could literally ride my bicycle, go past the Marine House, and I'm at school. Best friends in school, Ebenezer Akonai, who you know as Slim Jim. Yeah, let me tell you. So the reason why I ended up in Achimota Secondary, I did my common entrance before time. And because he was my best friend, but he was one ahead of me. It's your no quite common entrance, so be free school. And I'm besides meet me. You
didn't want to lose your friend?
No, I didn't want to lose my best friend. He's leaving the school. So me besides Reverend said, if you could study, why not? Me sure say me share this side of my life. In fact, since then, no, my bone, because after you put in
the effort.
And one of my other best friends is Henry Brew Graves.
Yeah.
Okay, home base, because he lived just down the street from us, and he chose Achimota Secondary. So I'm like, I'm going to Achimota because he wants to go there. My best friend wants to go there. Yeah, na resource by Slim Jim who's until no corporate sec.
Oh, how?
Yeah, he ended. No, yeah, I think he ended up in Persec.
That's what I did.
Yeah, Persec. You know, but I'm saying the school that he originally wanted to be in, and then home base, of course, you know, Achimota. And so when I got to school now, I was flawed. I said the reason for which I came into from a Hormona, my studies and started to say,
you lost interest.
But then, of course, I came into Achimota with a whole brand new flavor. Let me buy it, my shedda. Because I was watching Soul Train religiously, you know, they did not know. So they have like an initiation night called Nino's Night. And yeah, let me see stage. It is hard done and me moonwalk no.
Whoa.
Right.
Whoa. And this is why I tell people that listen, Reggie Rockstone did the moonwalk before Michael Jackson. I've said it so many times and I have proof. And later in the program, I'm going to show them the proof because of the timelines. But right here on Master of the Game, my man and your man is Reggie Rockstone, the grandpapa of his life. When we come back, we're going to talk about high school. And after high school, what really caught his attention? What made him travel? And what did he do when he traveled? And what made him decide that music is the way to go? right after this, only on Master of the Game.
Mom Sophia always said that I was a kept child. You know, she felt like my father might have over-pampered me. And she has a point. All three mothers agree on this. but they are also very proud that I did not mess up. But that narrative was always there. Now, you know, because the amount of freedom that my father gave me was, you know, it was incredible. You know, when I was growing up, when people's parents came home, they used to run. We used to run to the gate. You know, I love that man.
And when you say we, you had a brother, Alex Ofori.
Alex, yes. Alex, me and Alex friendship is a brotherhood, of course. Now, this is something a lot of people don't know. Alex came and crashed out in my house one night. We went out to dance somewhere. It was late. We came home. He said, oh, yo, can I stay over? I said, cool. He stayed over and never left. Alex lived with my family for years.
And it got to a point where you, Alex, and I nearly looked alike.
Well, people used to confuse us.
The two of you
crazy.
especially.
One time, Alex walked into my house, and I had him wear the clothes that I had on. And when he walked in, nobody recognized. We used to look like twins. And he ended up living in my house, you know, so he's my blood. And, you know, my father, I don't think ever met his mother. You know, so it's a weird, beautiful story.
Your father,
may he rest in beautiful peace.
I was telling you just before the interview that you are charismatic. But the word for your father is enigmatic. Enigmatic.
Yeah.
I watched your father work, and I learned a lot from your dad. He was a workaholic.
Yes, he was.
Your father's choosing fabric one day. He's worrying about fabrics coming in from Korea another day.
Yep.
He's sketching designs another day.
Making his own sneakers.
He's looking at what the tailors are making another day. He's looking in the magazines to see what concepts he wants to pick up. And then he's thinking of the next fashion show.
So all in one.
And then we're driving through Accra and he's stopping and saying, that girl, she sells groundnuts, but she will make a great walker on the catwalk.
Yeah, you didn't have models.
And then he would say, oh, but she walks like a man. And then he'll do that. You know, and, you know, I was just, I was learning by osmosis because the things he would say, they influence the way I would pick models later in life.
Yeah, there's nowhere that I go that someone doesn't tell me how much influence they had. You know, and it makes me so proud. You know, Dimpa. You know, Ricky really has a great name, you know, even with his physical going. And I like to, you know, also add that he really, really loved young people. Even when I came back home in '93, my father had employed so many young people. You know, young folks, you know, from Bushke to Neve from a charter house. Oh no, all these young brothers.
Especially when he opened Brass, for which I did all the advertising.
Exactly. You know, so.
And William Quaigrin, the CEO of
that's my stepbrother.
Gold Coast Restaurant.
I share a wall with him. You know, he's my stepbrother. I always refer to him as my stepbrother, and so it's a big family, and everybody who met the man, touched the man, or he touched them, becomes my family.
You say quite a bit about Dad. Let's talk about Auntie Anna, biological mom as well.
Yes, the strict one. The strictest of them.
Go on now.
Well, you know, and God bless her. I'm probably going there from here. Love her food, you know. She is the one that put that discipline in me. With all the craziness that I just spoke about, it was my mother, Auntie Anna. Everybody calls her Auntie Anna, even though, you know, they don't call her moms. She's the one that made sure that everything was on point. Midjani Free School, Ekoshe Tamale, from Achimota. All those watching know the story. She's the one that got me back into school. She's the one that got me the scholarship.
How'd she find you in Tamale?
Listen, it's crazy. The story, you know, because remember my biological, and then I hate to say stepmother, my other mother who's raising me. So now my Yankee mother is like, what am I, you know, those days mobile phone you. Yakosha Tamale deep, minute Bobo Charles the boards.
Yep.
And it was some wild story. Anyway, long story short, it's I got found, and she made sure that I got back into school. It didn't change the
How were
vibe.
you living in Tamale?
It was crazy. So we got paid. This is how we used to run it. JT would bring the gigs. I get paid advance. I break off some of the seniors. It was a little cartel, and I was running.
There was Como Basto.
Oh yeah, all of them. He called me TP. All of them.
There was Fire Killer.
Fire Killer. All of them, all the soldiers. So on this particular trip, we got paid really well, and so I took Bobo with me, Charles Du Bois, whose mother used to be one of the. I think she might have been the assistant headmistress at some point. So he lives on campus. And I'm in the Johnny Koy. Now, quiet. And promoter.
I said, when you see it.
Say, kind of make Jaffa. At school. McCarthy House. I'm not going to mention the names, but I like to give a shout out to Main Man. May he rest in peace. He used to handle my finance. Inti, a fan I was here at Joe Tamalino. And a promoter, no day.
It's him. Whoa.
Inti, I finish any share where now, wait now. Girl, your friend your costume. Yeah, Ayoko. I don't know if you know her. If anybody's from the hood, they may she rest in peace. She got into an altercation of words, with Bobo. And then she cursed Bobo. She said, I'm cursing you, me bojia, blah, blah, blah. Bobo is superstitious. He comes to tell me his superstition. I freak out because we're trying to get on the next bus and come to our crowd. But she said in the curse that the bus that you take is going to crash. Listen, I lived a wild life. Maybe I need to know. And on toilet now we see. I'm say guy no to we were tamale no I convert you. Into Honmana, yeti. Into yet one near yifs in na. Intimi Gaza because the noise. It's just it's a book. It's worthy of a book. So when they finally found us and we came to Accra, they put Bobo on the next thing smoking and sent him to Cuba.
Oh no.
Yeah, my best friend. They said I didn't see him. So he used to write me letters from Cuba. It was just really crazy.
Was that discipline or punishment? What exactly was that?
Well, something had to happen because, they didn't know where we were going. And, he's still one of my best friends. He lives in L.A. now.
And when you came back, were you welcomed back like the prodigal son?
Yes. My father, when I got back, my father I think the same day that I arrived, he was traveling to Korea.
Oh,
and of course, my American mother, she went hysterical. But Mom Millie, but my mother, she calmed it down. And then, of course, everything became kosher.
You make the story seem like your father managed to have these 3 different women in his life, but they all got along.
Yes, they did. And they didn't cross each other. And the main objective, I guess, was his son, besides whatever was going on. They're grown folks. But they loved me. And all of them invested time into me. Everything about me I picked up from, even right down, my father didn't live to see me be married, be a father, not be a playboy, And Ricky would always say to me,
I like that,
yeah. My father used to always say to me.
Because a lot of people don't understand you're a one-woman man.
Yeah, I've been married for 20-something years. But the thing though is, Ricky was good. He left me a gift. He always used to say, yo, man, family subaino. He always said, don't take my bad side, And I took that and it went in, so.
Well, my father also has only 3 wives.
Okay.
So I want to find out from you, what do you think about polygamy?
I know it's not African. I could tell you that for sure.
You think polygamy,
No,
you think staying with one woman is not African?
Yes, it doesn't seem to apply to us. I think
can be with more than one woman, you think?
Myself? I mean, well, we've been so Christianized and westernized now, but I really believe that it doesn't really move with our culture. I mean, it was literally imposed onto us. You know, it's not really, I know this is going to be controversial, but it's the truth. And this is why you see, you know, by character, you know, the reason why I'm a one-man woman is my personality. You know, it's too much headache. You know, you got to lie over here. Maybe you know, and so I like my peace of mind. So I could just take the one wahala. If you notice, most of my relationships have always been long. True. I've always been long relationships.
And you're the one who gets broken-hearted.
Yes, you
Why?
know. Well, I'm a nice guy. You know, I'm a nice guy, and nice guys, you know the story about nice guys. But I'm good, and I accept it.
I want to ask you about a song you wrote. Was it fact or fiction? Reggie, from me born in tell me why.
Fact.
Fact?
Yeah, fact.
Fact about who?
I can't mention no names. Besides, the story got so old now.
It's not old.
Well, when I say old, it's folks are starting to feel like I'm kind of being prejudiced against the other people in you know. So
a good story never dies, because a good story always illuminates the path for others.
Besides, we're all made up now, so I don't like to rub it anymore. I used to enjoy telling the story, but now we're all good.
The lyric is brilliant.
Thank you. It won me a Cora Award.
Because it brought us close to family, I want us to talk about your family. I don't mean the family you're from this time, the family you made.
Oh, okay. Well, Ricky, my son named after your friend, Ricky. And then I got Zulea, and nicknamed Zuzu. And I got Zeta. Now, the interesting thing is that Zeta was born on my birthday.
Whoa.
Zulea was born on my wife's birthday.
Interesting.
Yes. Don't ask me no questions how you did it. Have sex on a Sunday. Boom. There you go. There you go. There you go. But they feel like out. Nah, these are jokes, but yeah, it's a divine connection. And of course, my lovely wife, Dr. Lehman. And yes, I
Zilla.
Yeah, Zilla Lehman. And you know, anybody know me, know my wife. You know, we're inseparable. I also married into a very beautiful, beautiful family. I could not wish for a better family. I see what people go through. That's, you know, look, I just want to say this. The Northern folks are some really nice folks. I mean, listen, when they welcome you, you know, I'm a bona fide Ashanti, you know, and they just really welcome you. You know, you become family. You know, so I'm grateful, you know, and the exchange, the culture is beautiful.
Zilla's my younger sister's
yeah.
schoolmate at the university, and my younger sister, Mami, has so many kind words to say about her.
Yeah. She's good people.
She's
tough nuts.
She's just a genuinely lovely person, courteous person.
Yes.
Does not wear any airs about my father was the president, Hilary Man.
None of that.
You know, and very fun-loving person too.
And they ain't got time for BS.
And she raps Reggie Rockstone better than Reggie Rockstone.
She's a fan, you know, Otawachi 100. She's a keeper. She's no BS. You know, I'm a very stubborn man. And so for her, and remember, you know, I've lived a life. So for her to adapt to me and the way I am, and so
but
she's
you have
really
an
my
older
boss.
One. You have an older one, Phoebe.
Yes, I got an older one, Phoebe.
She's in London?
Yes, she just left.
Okay.
And Phoebe and Zilla are like this. They get along.
Is your first daughter
That's my
and
first
your wife?
daughter, yeah. Who gave me my grandson. Yeah. Mr. Ryan, yeah.
What's it feel like in the family? Who do they run to when they want to complain about something?
Complaints?
When the kids want to complain about somebody? They come to Papa.
I give, you know, if they left it to me, I'll give them every single thing that they needed, because that's the way I was raised. They don't mess with their mama, though. Yeah, no.
I asked two of your workers.
Such a I
asked two of your workers, and I will not say their names.
You're right.
Who's the disciplinarian in the workplace?
Yeah.
Who do you think they said?
Zilla, of course. Without a doubt. I mean, Zilla is like, she doesn't BS. You know, her A is her A, her mathematics. Listen, she don't play. You know, she's about that tall. She's a powerhouse. Yeah, so you know, and I need somebody like that in my life because see them Mr. Jack, you know, who jam me free side there, I'm free, you know. But it's there's a lot of love there, and we are friends. Of course, we butt heads like crazy, but you know, she would tell you life is short. That's her motto, you know. So get over it, Reggie. You know,
How did you and Zilla meet?
We met in a nightclub. We met through your man's DJ Black.
Whoa.
Yeah, in the DJ booth. Yeah. It's a known story out there.
Now you got to tell us a story today.
Oh, I'll make it real short. You know, she came into the booth. I was in the booth. I had already known about her. You know, people told me there's this woman that you got to meet because at the time I was going through the motions from my last one. And there's a brother called Jawai, and he kept saying, you got to meet this girl. And I kept hearing the name, you know. And, you know, I love big breasts, and they kept telling me she got big breasts. So, you know, that really added to it, you know, the typical male. And when she walked in the booth, I immediately recognized her. And I think I might have said, she didn't even pay no attention to me. You know, she came, because Black is her friend. And she liked dancehall, boomerang. So she came to order a song for her friends. She was in Legon at the time. I was the hip life rap star. And we didn't meet again till much later, but that's a whole nother story. Yeah. I know, right? You go meet a doctor.
First date?
The first date, I know she's watching this, man. She be cracking up. So I did not hear from this woman for so long, and then
what
one
do you mean
day,
you did not hear from her?
No, after we met.
You should be calling her.
No, check this out though. I had gave her my number, but you know we kind of just spoke. And to be truthful, she told me she had a man at the time. So it was you know. So one day I'm sat over at this French restaurant. I never forget. I was with my brother Rockstone, and my phone started ringing. It's her. And she claims that I picked up the call so quick that he said it only rang once.
That's possible.
I didn't ring you out before.
That's possible.
You know, and at the time, I remember because I had just come into some money. So you feeling, I feeling a hopana. Many okay, did you many at all? And I kalana me feeling a ringing. Then you just say it's on. So I invited her, and I remember, you know, can you imagine I was late picking her up?
Oh no.
Yeah, she was stood at the zebra crossing. She always talks about this. And of course, we met, and I can't remember whether we went to go eat or whatever, but yeah, we just got along.
Just like that.
She's a bubbly person. I'm very lively, so.
At what point after meeting her did you think this is going to be the mother of my children?
It never crossed my mind. It didn't. I had just come out of something pretty traumatic. I was digging her vibes. I knew she was different. Remember, I was seeing somebody and then boom, boom, boom. So I was, you know, but then one thing led to another. And yeah, I got her pregnant. And from there, you know, it became a different story.
You mean she let you get her pregnant?
Yes, I like that. Yes, she let me get her pregnant. And I know, boy, you got a way with words, you know, but this is what happened. And then, of course, from there, you know, Ofrifia kiss you.
Yeah.
You know, and then all of a sudden it was, okay, so what's up? And I had
the culture sets in.
Yeah, set in. And it was Mamoye who led, you know, and I had to go see the
Mamoye?
family. Yes. He was very close to my dad.
Of course.
Shout out to Aunt Mamoye, I love her. Shout out to KK Owusu. And so we went to go see family. And Mamres and everything came through. So it's funny, I had to go to Golu.
Whoa.
Golu. What could Golu da?
David.
They should be given visas to go there. That's how far that place is. And of course and very, very simple thing. You know, went to see the family. I'm Ashanti. I know how my people do it, very elaborate. None of that. It was just, and this is the ex-president's daughter. And I was just blown away. The culture, everything. They welcomed me, you know, and we did what we had to do. And it was beautiful. But you know what's really funny? So my papa, And my mother was in the UK. My other mother is in America. Auntie Sophia was, you know, doing her thing. So somebody had to leave.
Yeah.
So it was Daruba bin Wahad.
Daruba?
Yep.
The Black Panther.
Yep. It was Daruba and my auntie who speaks, Auntie Yaya, who doesn't speak much English. And Daruba and Auntie Yaya had to go.
All English, all Ashanti.
Yeah, so I went with Daruba to, you know, the Tamale, and it was just crazy. You know, my Auntie Yaya trying to communicate with Daruba. Now, all wrist langs are good. So, Auntie Yaya said, what's the same? Papa don't wear food. You know, Daruba, he's a good-looking man. You know, it was just a beautiful story.
Oh,
But we had to do what we had to do. Shout out to Daruba. And yeah, here we are today, 20-something years.
Marriage life has been very good to you, looking at your shape today.
Yes, it has been good to me. Before I got married, I did not live this life. I was all over the place. I had lost my father. I had lost another partner. I was in a very traumatic place, and I was just, you know, I blew money like they paid me to spend the money.
How are you making that money?
I had via an endorsement deal, one of the biggest ones ever. Shout out to all the folks who made it happen.
Guinness.
There you go.
I know.
My brother George Anda, to my lawyer, Kofi Asma. And I remember they paid me so well that Ghanaians got confused. Apparently, some Ghanaians called the South Africans because they thought they had made a mistake on the check. I did that for y'all. That's right.
That's right.
All the stigmas got broken.
That's right.
You know, because I think it was between myself and Uncle Kudrentry, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But then they realized that I appealed to the streets. And I went to Achimota Secondary, so I did appeal to the bougie. And I was in between. I had both crowds.
Yeah.
You know, so
but the thing is, Kojo didn't drink alcohol.
No, so he doesn't drink
that's
alcohol.
That's another thing.
And then, of course, at one point, they wanted me to hold the
bottle?
Yeah, so I said, then you got to pay me more. That's why the glasses just stood there. You know, where did you
get that from, Dad?
No, I actually got that from my brother Eric.
Eric Donaba?
Yeah, Eric is very sharp, and he took that picture. You know, he's a great photographer.
He's a good photographer.
He took that picture.
He's got some very good pictures of me that I've never gotten to see.
Yeah, he
just flashes them in your eyes and that's it.
He captures time, moments.
Fantastic.
And he took that picture.
I hope he has a big exhibition one of these days.
I think he's about to. Yeah. You know, he's planning.
I hope he does.
But yeah, he took that picture and he said, well, you know, if they want you to hold it, they got to pay for it. So I told him, and they said, yeah.
With your man and my man, Reggie Rockstone, on Master of the Game, the program on which we bring you the movers, the shakers, the icons, and the legends. And a legend he is. A man whose innovation has opened up a whole occupation for generations. When we come back, we'll be talking about how he started his music career, how he became tops, and how he has stayed on top of his game to date. Right after this.
Somebody like Azuma Nelson is giving me an advice on boxing. I'll take it.
The reason she doesn't want to ask, maybe she feels like it's too early. Maybe she knows the right thing and she's still complaining.
Apart from business or any other thing, I don't see what you be saying yours.
It's only to me. When you have children,
well, be with that young guy.
Ladies of late know they like the baby
and the wife alone.
CTV, Ghana's #1.
Hello, it's a whole brand new season of the Siudine TV show. My name is Odansini Odilia. We come your way this and every Thursday
from 5 to 5:30 p.m. This new season, we are looking at solving issues concerning properties. So if you have bought a land and you are having issues, you bought a house, or you have any litigation issue concerning any property, come to us. And we are looking to sell properties on this very show. So if you are looking to buy a land, a house, or even to rent an apartment or a house, this is the show you have to watch. My name remains Odanseni Odilia. Watch us this and every Thursday, 5 to 5:30 p.m. only on CTV.
CTV, Ghana's #1.
It's party time on one of them. Ola Bawo, as I introduce to you Safari Zoom Flex live on Ghana's #1. With Zoom Flex, you can join the fun wherever you find yourself via Zoomer. Ella, don't shake the body. But it's Friday, of course. Time is 10 p.m. sharp on Ghana's #1 with the man them DJ Last Week Official. We say Ola Bawo.
Give me the vibe, give me the move, give me the vibe, give me the move, give me
CTV, Ghana's #1.
Apostle Francis Odro World Outreach Ministry, Akawa Hubium, the School of Ministry. I am Apostle Francis Odro. Yame Adon of so, and now die so any Islam which I say. Yame to serve Frau Amanyam Duma. And I'm Passa, who Yamisumu Dada, now soon Madam Kra, a wow so. And yet now when I bet the Hama say, only the School of Ministry, Ebesiandi. And to what show no who feed her. School of Ministry, Bamau, a boarding credibility, say, international certificate in ministry and international diploma in ministry.
Start the training now.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Order for meeting at the Evangelist Pemuka from 7-Day Universal Mercy Center Asafomo. Eye Kasafoni CTV Awoshe Mosoi. Eye Nyamibo Sunday way exactly 12:30 p.m. Eposi exactly 1 o'clock p.m. Yenemo ebeche eye enkwaje asamti framadamfo nefra unya fro bibiara wonem no kaise Evangelist Pemuka aba yebeche enkwaje asam nyame nhira mu omamunye kese omamunyina mu fri adomu enko adomu ye wonya kopon nhira nyina amen.
Azuma Nelson is giving me an advice on boxing. I'll take it.
The reason she doesn't want to ask, maybe she feels like it's too early. Maybe she knows the right thing and she's still complaining.
Apart from business and any other thing, I don't see what she be saying yours.
Talking to me when you have children,
Well, be with that young guy.
Ladies of late know they like the
married man and the wife alone.
CTV, Ghana's #1.
Different people go to different schools for different reasons. Some go mainly to learn how to read and to write. Some go to learn how to count because they know there's a lot of money in their future. Some go to learn a skill and get some competency for a trade, and some go just to build a social network. In Reggie Rockstone's case, I'm not too sure, because even when he was in school, he found his way out to build a social network. But right now, what I want to do is find out from him when exactly he set his heart on a career in music.
Man, I never did. It was never a career choice. I never did, and every time I tell people this, they surprised. I originally aspired to be an actor. I went to drama school. I studied, I wanted to be an actor. The reason why Bruce Lee is one of my mentors besides the martial arts, I wanted to be an action movie star.
Whoa.
Yep, and that's why I'm still training.
It's not too late?
It's not too late. But no, I never looked at none of the above as a career. In fact, if you ask me, the dance would have probably been my first. I took that as a career because Ajite showed me how to make money. And I saw money coming in. Okay, this is what you got to do. But the music, nah, I love music. I love to perform. And so because I danced to music, it only made sense after a while that I would make music. So people say, So no, and maybe this is the reason why I did not become some mega superstar, worldwide like you see, because I got all the qualities to be that super duper star, but because I never looked at it I was never aggressive about it's only when
you became a very big star because
by default
managed to curate this craft of yours to become a legend.
Most definitely. But remember, I've been popular all my life. I was a child star. From age 11, I was winning karate champion. I was winning dance competitions and all of the above. My father was pretty well known. So there was always light on me. So I didn't know no different. Besides, I was the only child for many years, so I only knew how to make friends. So no, I never looked at it as a career. It only even came in the business realm when DJ Rab, may he rest in beautiful peace.
Oh, your dear friend.
My brother. He's the one that brought the business to it. And it made my father understand that we got to run this as a business. Build a studio, a label, Casa Records, all of the above. But I was just freestyling through life.
So, in what year did you start saying, let's cut a record or let's make a hit song?
I was just, when we cut to break, I was just telling my brother how terrible I am with dates. I mean, my life is like a blur. When I leave you, I will not remember the date, except for my birthday and my daughter's birthday, 11/11. I don't have a date, but I could tell you though, I had a job. I had a regular job. I used to work for a liquor store, right? Augustus Bonnet.
Okay.
I used to work for a liquor store, and one day, I might have told the story once or twice. One day, I said, when you a mistake, so I say, 200 pounds, no. McCoy not bad 2,000 pounds. They had made a mistake. And it's kind of bad share account to me. That's what you call a Negro moment.
It happened to me once, but I went back to the
You went back and gave it to them.
Yes.
I did no such thing. But I mean, today I might have done it different, It's not to say that I am corrupt or anything, but in fact, it took a minute. So it was Freddie Funkstone who, he said, damn, Red, there's a lot of money in your account. How much work? I said, you know what, Freddie? I don't know where all this money came from, And so this is when I started to do the New York, London trips. I used to go to Harlem, 125th. I used to go buy all the hip-hop gear, come back to the UK, Camden Town. I was selling
What was the hip-hop gear then? Was it FUBU?
No, I'll go further back. I go to Troop.
Okay.
Troop, the four-finger ring, the rope chains.
The DMC chain.
Yeah, the DM, all of these, the Kangos, So I would go over to Camden, pimp it to folks. In my neighborhood, I would sell. And that's when I had my little hustle. So it was the whole New York, London trip. And then, of course, I went to every hip-hop show. And when you saw me at a hip-hop show, I looked like a star. Because I had the flyers gear from New York. And London was just so into hip-hop. And of course, when I would open my mouth, they this dude, I'm like, they used to say, I said, where you from? I said, I'm African. They say, you don't sound African. And this is a black person telling me this. I said, you definitely don't sound black either. It was just, And so I made a lot of friends that way, and I would meet a prolific brother by the name DJ Pogo. Now, Pogo, Mr. Montoot, shout out to, he's the one that really put me on. And, you know, he was making beats. And he, at the time, he was running with Moni Love, you know, legendary Moni Love. And so he's the one that put me on. He started, so recently he sent me some of my first demos. Listen, I could not rap a Christmas present. Matia, not much. So wait
a minute. Pogo must have seen you and said, nah, he's got the look. Now let's see if he can cook some rhymes.
Yes, but Pogo's patience, and Pogo's patience, it's just, it blows my mind. Because when I listen back to them demos, I would have kicked you out of the studio. But he must have thought, there's something about this guy.
I tell you, that's a story of many musicians,
I know,
really.
I know. He stuck with me. And then we would later now connect with another sister. Her name is Sonia Polton. And she had the record label, Go for the Juggler Records. Put me on. And me and Freddie Funkstone. That's where the group Parti à la Maison comes from, PLZ.
That's right.
And we know we was opening for Pete Rock and CL Smooth. We was opening for, you know, Greg Ormsby. We was opening for...
So before they would play It Takes Two to make you feel...
It's all right.
You would do your gig before.
Oh, come on, man. We was in the cut. We was in the cut. We opened for Laws of the Underground. These are like legendary hip-hop groups. We even opened for Ultramagnetic MCs.
Fantastic.
So I'm a proper hip-hop vet. You know, when they talk hip-hop in the UK, history, PLZ will come up. You know, but of course, the New York faction was a whole different faction. So I used to, you know, hang out, go to the shows, everything, but I wasn't like rhyming. So really, the UK is who embraced me. And then I would do between New York, UK, and then finally
And when
I
you
came
rapped
home.
on stage, did you dance?
No. Back in the day, it was corny. You know, it was corny. It was some, you know, you was either a dancer or, but when I used to be a hype man for Boogie Bush, this is my ex-girlfriend, and I used to, you know, so I used to dance. And I would hype up the crowd, but you know, besides you lose your breath trying to listen.
Yeah,
shout out to MC Hammer. I don't know how MC Hammer does that, but he runs for miles every day. So, yeah. But that was that story there. So no, I never chose it as a career. It would only later become.
So after Party à la Maison, what happened next?
We were at a show. I think it was Subterranea. And I overheard, there's a legendary group called the Jungle Brothers. You probably know the Jungle Brothers. And I overheard a conversation between them talking about they are coming to Africa. And I had not been home for years. I'm just running around between New York and the UK. And so I stuck my ear and asked, dude, I said, which part of Africa? You know, because I'm African. He said, Ghana. I said, whoa. You know what, Ghana, they got They got hip hop popping like that in Ghana, the Jungle Brothers. So right there and then, and all this time, remember, me and my pops, we only spoke on the phone. My father would send me money if I needed it. But besides that, and guess who used to bring me the money? When they sent me money. Mr. Geddy Lai.
Oh, Geddy Lai. Yep. Oh my God, MMR is the advertising guru.
Anytime that he would fly into the West, wherever I was, I would meet him and it was like boom, boom, boom. Fantastic. You know, if I needed. But I pretty much looked after myself. I started my own life. And so I would now contact my father.
I mean, if the old man was sending you money from Ghana,
at the time,
you were a spoiled child.
Well, I've always been, my father gave me anything I needed. And I'm not even ashamed of this, you know. And like I said, I do the same for my children. My father looks out for me. He's a good friend of mine, you know. And so at this point now, I asked them, I said, what's the name? So they said it's called Panafest. And that's how we found out.
I was on that.
Yeah.
I was the MC for the
Panafest. I know. So originally we were just supposed to come to Ghana, me, Freddie, PLZ. So I told Pops, he said, oh, Panafest there, say, you mean ticket me out here.
And he bought you a ticket to come there?
Both me and Freddie. Timberlands, I must have had like $100 or $200 or pounds, I can't remember. My rhyme pad, and not much. And I'll never forget, when we got to the airport, when the plane stopped, Freddie looked at me. When we got to Ghana, he looked at me and he said, you're not coming back, right? He could feel it. When we opened the plane door open, feel the heat? Yo, and I missed my country so much. I didn't know. And I could feel home.
You should have kissed the tarmac.
Short of
you
doing that.
Done that.
Short of doing that. And so my brother, I was home. And I remember he took me, we arrived at night, and he said, yo, you got to see the nightclub. So he took me over to Miracle Mirage. But it was shut. And we were so excited, me and Freddie, that we stayed up talking till morning, till we heard the cuckoo. And you don't know what that did to me.
It's emotional.
It's emotional. Little things that, you take for granted. When I heard that cock crow, and I'm like, whoa, my Biffy. We had rice and stew by Auntie Joyce. She was the chef for my father. I didn't know Ricky had come into money. Ricky was living, your friend was living large. So, here we are, up to this day in Amity.
Ricky's shows had every ambassador grappling for a ticket.
Yeah, and when I came home, he was doing advertising.
Yeah.
He was all the coffee exports and all of that was him. Chata, color chart.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, gotta love him, man. Yep. Amazing story there.
It's interesting to see an African who's been away from home in the diaspora come back home and tell the story and feel emotional about it.
Yeah, I really felt it.
Because when you see the number of kids who think the best life they can have is away from home, maybe one day they will live to tell the story that they never knew that
travel
the best
and see.
place to be is actually home.
Travel and see. I mean, everybody got their story, and this is mine. Mine is in the reverse. But you got to remember, though, my story is almost parallel to Ricky's story. Ricky literally did the same thing. Lived in the West, did everything, invented the Pat jeans, making clothes for Diana Ross, Richard Pryor, F. Lee Bailey, him, and then he comes home.
And Ricky broke a world record when he made the jeans.
The Pat jeans.
Just with the waistbands.
The waistbands, yep.
Waistband jeans.
Yeah, right there.
That's right.
Yep, and today, that's Dolce & Gabbana.
And it was a world icon.
You see that's Cardi B?
Yep.
Because I sent this to Cardi B. I sent it to her DM.
And you told her this is from your pops.
I said, do you know what you got on was made by my father? She didn't say nothing, but that's Dolce & Gabbana. But you see my father in there? Yeah. This is like,
And Dad had a great figure in there.
Yeah, Ricky was a good-looking man. He was a good-looking man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how he would work his advertising, because look at the way he uses the back of the model to sell those jeans.
To sell the jeans. Yep.
It's interesting.
Strong images, So, I literally did the same thing, reverse. But I am Pan-African. I'm a patriot. This is people always, ask me, what made you rap in Cree? Because English is my first language. I learned to speak Cree. And I said, because I'm Pan-African. Because I remember growing up how folks frowned on the language, or speaking vernacular.
That made me very angry.
And this is one of the reasons. So when I speak, and people say, I said, listen, man, you got the wrong dude. I am the one who utilized and made it fly to rap in the language. So I am a very proud Ghanaian. Don't let this accent fool you. Because or for where I live or where I was born or wherever, that's not it. I speak good Tree and I express it. And I made it hip. You didn't do that. Because they try to play you. Sometimes when you talk, and why you talk like I said, no. I said, don't worry about how I talk. Listen to what I'm saying.
But it must be possible for somebody to speak 3 languages and speak all of them well.
I switch codes like crazy.
That's it.
I code switch like crazy. You put me in Kumasi, I'm bugger. You put me in New York, I'm straight on Ebonics. Put me in the UK, I mix a little bit of the West Indian joints. You know what I mean? That's it.
You speak some patois too?
Yeah. No.
When we come back, more with the legend Reggie Rockstone. We'll talk about the hits that he came to make in Ghana, the shows he did, the friends he made, a few disappointments along the way, and then how he turned this music thing into business for his family. Only on this special show. But there's a question I gotta ask Reggie before we go on this break. Reggie, you know you did the moonwalk, the backslide, before Michael Jackson.
I did.
Are you aware of it yourself?
I'm not only aware. I'm very proud. I've been places and said this, and people looked at me like I was crazy.
No, I've checked, and I know.
Oh, now they know. Listen, they tried to clown me, and you know I always got the receipts. They tried to clown me because I went to the Boulevard show, and it was just by chance he asked me the question. And I said, "Well, let me break it down to you."
He didn't know?
No, he didn't. You know, he didn't. And you know, it sounds really far-fetched when you tell somebody I did the moonwalk before.
Do you remember the year you did the moonwalk in Achimota?
It was Form 1. Anybody watching this, if you remember Nino's Night, any Akora, please testify for them, because that's when it popped off.
But I want you to now take a look at this video, and then we'll take your commentary after it. Let's go.
And I just listened to the song, and I just worked out a routine that I wanted to do. So I began it as preparing myself to go out. So I'm in the mirror, I'm fixing myself up, I'm doing my hair. So I'm kind of like reenacting the theme of the song.
When you love
It's party time.
They couldn't work out how I was doing this backslide. So we flew over to Amsterdam to continue our promotion. While we were...
As I introduced to you, Safari, Zoom Flex, live on Ghana's #1. With Zoom Flex, you can join the fun wherever you find yourself via Zoomer. Ella, don't shake the body. God, it's Friday. Of course, time is 10 p.m. Sharp on Ghana's #1 with the man them DJ Last Week Official. We say, Ola Ba.
look, I'm still smiling.
You know how they call that man? They call him the Papa Long Kid. That's Jeffrey Daniels.
Jeffrey, listen, that man there that you just saw at TF4, this is my camera. So this is the reason why I told y'all that I did the moonwalk before. Because, man, she ain't free Michael Jackson. Papa not share Michael Jackson, no. Or no.
But you did it. You did it even before his appearance on Top of the Pops.
Yes, I did. I learned from Don Cornelius Soul Train.
That's it.
The original Soul Train. And yeah, we crowd in my head that I just saw in I need a and see, the man who taught him is who we and the Nippon see Nipa. What's I say? Now here's a great part. Imagine I never met Bruce Lee, my mentor. Yeah. My dance mentor is that man. Besides Shalamaz, one of my favorite
and you know, I think I've seen a video of you and Jeffrey Daniels.
When he came to surprise me?
My director, Samuel Daniels, is such a brilliant guy.
If you got that letter roll,
can we see that one?
That's him! I show you so shit! Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Amazing,
Oh, that's
listen, I got receipts.
But you know he's moved to Nigeria now.
Yes, I talk to the man all the time. Listen, it's just amazing that I actually know this man. And can you imagine, I never met Bruce Lee. Jeffrey comes to Ghana, come check. Listen, come here, madam. And you know how we got the footage? I was doing an interview for a French television station.
Whoa.
And see, that's how we caught it on camera. Yeah, and we stayed in contact. You know, that's my man, Mamelo.
But you know this, you have this magnetism around you. Your father had it too.
Well, you know, I know my father definitely had it.
For want of a better word, I mean, some would even describe your dad, Ricky, as a bit of a weirdo. You know, he would wear his long kaftans and then throw his scarf over it, and then he'd wear his sandals like he made himself. And I'll be all suited and booted. You know, and
he flipped it.
We're hanging in a car that has no windscreen.
Yo, dude, he had a lopsided old war Jeep. He was eccentric.
But wherever we went, people were attracted to Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky was a people's person.
And I think you have that too.
Yeah, well, my mother always says.
Gramps Morgan came to Ghana.
Yes.
He and his brother spoke very highly of you.
Yes, Brother Gramps, great human being, amazing friend. You know, he spoke on the fact that I introduced them to some of the most prolific Ghanaian artists. And so... once again, we call that on camera. But it's true. I am an ambassador. I am definitely an ambassador for my country. And same thing with Beanie Man, same thing with Idris Elba, same thing with Wyclef Jean. You know, people who are like-minded seem to connect with me. You know, like humility, they're humble, they are well-grounded. I always connect with them.
And the key word, artistic.
Artistic, definitely, without a doubt, and great artists too. Yeah. So my Barbara, yeah, Barbara, yeah, my Barbara.
Look, I'm going to talk about your necklace when we come back. I'm going to talk about your drip when we come back.
Sure.
And I'm going to talk about what you see about Ghana in the future when we come back. Right after this. want us to go to, but we had a lot of requests from people asking they want to hear that song.
It's definitely a classic, that one. Yeah, it's definitely a classic.
And it tells a story of men who are suffering in silence.
True, and you know, it's one of those songs that will be around forever. You know, it's just produced by Mensa. And Mensa, he must have been about 16, 17 or something when he produced this. So it's
he's a brilliant producer.
Iconic. And the video won a Cora Award.
So let's talk about the hits you made in Ghana and how Ghana came to accept Reggie as a big star.
That was a whole process. Now, remember, if I was dancing with Ajiti Suwa and I was doing the circuits, I already had made my name in Ghana. Then you move me from there to martial arts. Let's start from martial arts to dancing. So that's one generation that knew who Reggie was. And then left, came back, reinvented myself. Now I'm Reggie Rockstone. So the older folks would tell the younger folks, oh, you don't know him? We do. Yeah, he's been rocking since way back. Akwawi, or a guy rough. You know, so that it was passed on. So it's two generations, and then I came to prove to the younger generation what I was about. So it was a very easy transition. Also, at the time, Ghana had a mini exodus. Ghanaians were just coming home from all over. Michael Cook, this way, everybody, Vibe at Fam. It was crazy.
Abraham Hennigan.
You know, I met Abraham when he came out of film school, you know, and I remember telling him, I said, I'm going back to Africa. And he said, yo, I got ideas, you know. And he ended up shooting that video and many more. So it became a whole unit of brothers and sisters who had come home.
They say the thing that actually changes any country is the groundswell of its citizens who went somewhere and who decide to come back with their skills.
Yep. Sankofa, Brefi. And that's exactly what happened. Divine intervention, definitely by Jah, of course. And I'm glad. I mean, my father, he didn't live to see it become as, you know, now it morphed into Afrobeat and all of the above, you know. But yeah, I'm still here and I'm enjoying.
I want you to take a look at this, and then when we come back, we'll start naming your hits one by one, right after this.
dear with me nada or boba. And you drum on just Ashanti live, Ashanti British New York, and I'm on my way.
What keep your eyes on the road?
That's what I was saying. It's debatable. But let me tell you the history of my music, my music history. I hit Ghanaians back to back. Every time they thought it was over, I was coming with a new one. Because remember, Cho Boy, that's what set it off. Almost Cho Boy I go by. And these came with videos. Sweetie. And they are bounce visa. And I know.
Visa, they saw your lyric. So, and then they to the camera. You bounce visa, they have
to Rockstone that to say, we fire our Safo Mafo. So, like, go see any of my visa man. So, now, no, Michelle, Madame for COVID down. So, or say connection out, Maso Walloco, Eshimi, Reggie, Mini Papa, and Massacre, sorry, Samsung Yami, whom me, China Mammy, now some maname, entirely misposed, not to Messi, last night to buy and I'm coming. Who I check my accuracy, area more guys, car price, my. Listen.
Oh man!
It was a story.
That was storytelling.
Yeah, storytelling.
That's the beauty about that.
This is
because rhythmic African poetry is essentially storytelling.
Most definitely.
If you ain't got a story, you got to go into braggadocio.
Yep, RAP, repetitive African poetry, rap. And I always tell the young ones, I respect rappers who could tell a story. That's what I come from. So Slick Rick, if you listen, they could tell. That's what makes Sarkodie so amazing. He could tell a story. My man Kweku Smoke, all the young, so if you could tell stories, you the man.
But now my Adansi brother Amirado is also telling stories.
Oh, he's amazing.
He's telling stories.
He hot.
And the fancy boy, what's his name, Kofi Kinata is telling stories.
This is the fabric. This is how it's supposed, say something. Yeah, we do the booty rap and the braggadocio, no, but you got to be able to tell a story. And just like I did with Reggie, if I'm born I told a story, A to Z, very, very cinematic lyrics that I could put to pictures, moving pictures. And
which one comes easier when you lay a track?
Mm-hmm.
Do you start thinking, I got to do this in English or I got to do this in Chi? And which one comes easier?
For me, it depends on the beat. Example, when we sampled the legendary Alhaji Kefrin poem, classic. Keep your eyes on the road, classic. Now, I could have done that in Chi, but I thought to myself, for exports.
At crossover.
Because the beat is already so African.
True.
So I need my brothers and sisters over there to understand that this rhythm is from us. But let me try to do it in, the white man lingo, so I can sell it over there so they can dig it.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Let's take a look at this, and I'll take your comments right after. my. It's amazing how you use them nunchakas.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, everything about me, I put into everything about me. So if I dress, Bruce is my mentor, you know, June Fan Lee. So you see that video with me and Sako there, that's 11/11. The whole video is dedicated to Bruce Lee. You know, I sent it to his daughter, you know, and I'm proud of these things. You know, I get to meet my mentor, Jeffrey Daniel. You know, these things, no award can beat that. You know, so now I get a little hand clap, but I know what I'm feeling inside. And like we was talking before, you know, every child needs a hero, you know, and it doesn't have to be from your family. You know, you could find, you know, Shatawale, somebody, Stoneboy, myself, yourself, and I am glad that I have had that type of positive vibration or impact. Yeah. So these things really make me proud.
You accept that you're a hero.
Well, my humility won't let me, but I wait for somebody to tell me.
But you are.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, Reggie Rockstone, what makes you happy?
What makes me happy? Damn, that's the $1 million question. Look, and I have answered this question before, but I'll do it for the people. The minute you ask yourself if you are happy, you cease to be so. It's a state of being. The minute you ask yourself, am I happy, you find every reason why you ain't. Oh, and this and that, and I got to pay this. You know, you find it's a state of being.
So happiness is like cool.
It's a state of being.
You're cool or you're not.
It's
you don't
not
have to question it.
It's not something that you quantify via answer. It's a state of being. Yeah. Because the minute you ask yourself if you are happy, you cease to be so.
So I'm going to ask on the other side then. What makes you angry or sad?
Well, like I told you, I'm a student of Bruce, so we do study, you know, to hold your temper. I'm generally a very calm person, but deadly, you know, in a good way. What makes me mad is injustice. Injustice makes me mad. Animal cruelty, that really makes me mad. You know, when people oppress or hurt people who can't fight back. I mean, this is pretty much why martial arts play such a big role in my life, you know, and that really breaks my heart. I don't like that. Yeah, injustice. And just, I hate bullies. I hate verbal bullies. You see me on Instagram, man, I be fighting trolls. I can't stand them. You know, what makes you just want to talk down to somebody or try to hurt somebody via words? It's from your thoughts, you know, come words, and from words come action. And so don't, you know, people say, oh, damn, Reg, you too big. You don't have to address everyone. And I say to them, don't you understand that words are curses? Don't let it slide. Speak back. And then, of course, there are times where you just shut up and let them be foolish.
But generally, don't let the
No. Perception is everything. Perception is everything. And I love the way that you handle a lot of situations that came your way. You spoke out. You spoke it to a fault till it got to the point where everybody's like, okay, you know what? Yeah, we give up. Yeah. What JJ I'm about to say, I'm going to do my no. Then they'll be about to say, no, don't speak on me. Because the same medium that you use against me, I'm going to use, I'll speak right back.
There's so many injustices in the world.
Too many.
We cannot cure them all.
No.
But if everybody had a chance to cure only 3,
small.
What would you pick and cure?
It would have to be the very injustice on my people, black folks. And I'm not talking I'm talking worldwide. The black man is still not safe. You know, we look good, feel good. When we walk out of here, we're free. You might just take a trip to New York or to LA, and just on arrival, the police will pick you up, stick to you a false case, and you'll be banged up for 20 years. You could be Floyd. People don't understand that. They think, you know, because we live in Ghana, and, you know, it's that racism, it's still there. And it affects all of us. And Africans sometimes seem to think that they are different. But when you go to the West, or the white man see you all the same. He doesn't see Dr. Umar different from KKD. Y'all, you know, the N-word. And so I would like for us to still be vigilant and not just relax. Love, you know, I don't hate nobody, but I love my people. And so therefore, I suggest to all to always stand and be aware. The world is not fair.
That would be number one on your list. Number 2?
Yes. Number 2 will be the injustice towards women. It's huge. It's huge. You know, we bitching about the war waged on us by the man, and we turn around and we do it to the sisters, or we do it to women. You know, man has waged a serious war on women till today. I mean, you could take it all the way from female circumcision right down to, you know what I'm talking about. So, and I got daughters, you know, and I love women. I got beautiful, as you can see, my mothers, and women, you know, really need to be respected and cherished as always. We came from women. You know, they don't call the planet Father Earth. They call it Mother Earth. You know, I can't give birth. And so that would be another. But general, just injustice. I don't like bullies. I'm in.
Yeah, but like you said, I'll take your third. Number 3.
My third one. My third one would definitely have to be Africa and our leaders. I would take it. That should have been one of the first ones, because once leadership is right, all of the above will follow. Yeah, we really need to step up, especially in these times. You know, so shout out to my man Mamelo, Burkina Faso. Yep, you know, we're digging his vibes. And yeah, Africa, if we really peep game and we put it together, we will. They already scared, you know, in fear of a black planet, as Chuck D said from Public Enemy. But now Africa seems to be really in the light. And so we also got to be wary of the detractors. You know, we do have enemies. And let's not get so friendly with our enemies. You know, we be shucking and jiving. We were too trusted. We sell our own people short. This is not good. And so on the political front, I feel like Africa really, and the new crop of young soldiers coming up, their politics is starting to be right. You know, I grew up I knew, but today they starting to, you know, they're picking up on things.
Isn't it interesting that the biggest applause at the swearing in of President Mahama
Brother
was
Ibrahim.
the applause that went to Brother
Ibrahim.
Traoré.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I was sat there smiling. I was smiling so big. Matter of fact, I even had a parody video. I had the beret. I had the whole thing.
Exactly.
You know, shout out to Sister Black Coffee. You know, she's a huge fan of Ibrahim. I would love to shake that man's hand. In my time, being alive, to see somebody like him.
You've seen what he's done with money, building a tomato factory, and the money we have wasted in this country.
I see the way he handled the French folks. I've seen it. And I'm glad that he warmed up to the new president. It gives me hope, because, you know, he might just put bug in his ear.
There is a lot of criticism about how when he got on stage to shake the hands of the president, he had his pistol on his hip.
The pistola got to stay strapped. That's a soldier there. Share, I am when daddy. Nipano munya no mbekunu. Did you see how militant
his people,
his bodyguards?
Exactly.
So we need to protect that man. But he's a soldier though. Now Ghana, so then so bang. Yeah, Papa Rollins did two bena on venture. Pacho, mama relax it. Ibrahim ye. On Papa J. He will protect him. So almost said obey you to an eye.
How you tell me? You got a few projects coming up.
Yes, I do.
Just wrap it up quickly.
Wrap it up real quick. Okay, so of course, Rockstone forever. Yeah, you know, I always got to pimp the rice and beans to the human beings. And there's a biopic that's coming up on Reggie, and I got some real prolific writers from America, some from Ghana. The book, I'm still working on this book. As you see, I got tons of stories. I also got a movie script that I'm working on. On myself, I still make music. You know, I am trying to figure out a way to put out music without going through Spotify. You know, and of course, all the innovative ideas that I have, I will put across via my popularity. And as you know, I'm a hustler just like my dad. I do make ends meet, you know. And yeah.
And you have a beautiful family.
Yes, I do indeed.
That's more important.
Yeah. I ain't got all the bread, but I do have a beautiful family. Yeah.
So last word, Reggie Rockstone. What do you want to see happen in our beloved motherland, Ghana?
Right now, in our beloved, I mean, I really don't have to tell you. You could tell the people are anxious right now. You know, the people want some answers to a lot of questions. The people feel bamboozled by much. The transparency levels got to be like the highest. Of course, the corruption, if we don't kick it to the curb, we're going back down.
But we can't kick it to the curb because wherever crime pays, crime multiplies. So when people have benefited from the crime,
yeah,
what are you going to do
I understand, but you could put some deterrence into the system. When you know your ass will go to jail, or you could possibly get killed or executed over some, you know, you might want to think twice. And this is where I'm thinking, because Yaswendi, you know, if we don't do something so drastic to shake, you know, because I'm very proud that I am not a corrupt person. My wife is definitely, her father wasn't, my father wasn't, and we are all patriots. And so I don't even have to say it. And this is what's taking place. I wish the new government, well, boy, they look like they got a lot on their hands. You know, I wouldn't want to be them, but they all God-fearing, and of course, Jah is involved. So, you know, I hope it just moves right, because it's about time.
Thank you very much, Reggie Rockstone.
My brother.
Mr. Reginald Osei.
My brother.
Thank you very much for joining us on Master of the Game. And you are a master of your game.
Sure enough.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us on Master of the Game. My name is Darwah, Kwasi Kyei Darwah. They say it's lonely at the top. Don't believe that nonsense. It's only lonely at the top for those who are not nice to anybody. For if you are kind and generous and grateful, you will always be in good company. See you at the top. The bottom is too crowded. See you on the next episode.
CTV, Ghana's #1.
Hello, it's a whole brand new season of the Siudine TV show. My name is Odansini Odilia. We come your way this and every Thursday from 5 to 5:30 p.m. This new season, we are looking at solving issues concerning properties. So if you have bought a land and you are having issues, you bought a house, or you have any litigation issue concerning any property,